that I'm confident enough to speak out and call judgment. So, you know, my family did some really tough shit. Well, and I've called judgment on different parts of that. But what was new was how involved or how intense it was for, you know, to know that my older sister and her husband was so relevant and how everything transpired. So, what I do know now was that there was an inheritance of $1 million that my grandfather Calvin Fowler left me. My sister and her husband were very successful in declaring me mentally incompetent, and that they would take over the inheritance, and then divide it against my sister, my ex-husband, my sisters, 4 sisters, my daughter, and my father. Nothing to me. When this happened, they pushed me right into gang stalking. I didn't know gang stalking was, you know, under the authority of Family and Church. I did not know that my faith at the time was pretty instrumental in the histories of all the stories that's ever been talked about. All the conspiracy theories about gang stalking. My congregations were very instrumental in those encounters that target people end up having. That was real tough just to follow. I mean, really tough, you know, because you just I don't associate the faith with their behavior. I definitely want to make that very clear. Or my family. I associated it and contributed to something different. I'll go into that later. But in the midst of that, my ex-husband had me as a target for fantasy football. That netted $9 million, which I thought was enough. The royalties for comments or any videos I made for YouTube, and I do have actual facts of this because when I looked up my name, it said that I had a total of assets of $124,000. You know, for my net assets, like what I'm worth. Okay, I mean, even that's a lot compared to what I even knew I was worth. So, compared to what I know now. So, Facebook royalties that Facebook sent wire transfers to my ex-husband for just comments I made or videos I made, or, you know, repeat plays or watched. $65,000 over approximately a 4 or 5 year period of time. My ex-husband also went into my phone and looked at my notes and saw one of my ideas that I'll put all my stuff in, and decided he was going to market that to YouTube and develop it, and start a company dealing with the elements. $4 million over a 4 year period of time. 5 cars were taken out in my name, and 2 houses were taken out in my name. The black market for sex videos that I've either made while I was married to him, or him having hidden cameras in the places that I was at, and I had sex with somebody. $5 million. Only him alone. Now, that doesn't include all the other people who did it and made their money. even to this day. $5 million just for Truman Super alone. And not to mention all the black magic and spiritism and spell casting and cursings of the prayers of the righteous ones to pray against my will. Not God's will, not my angel's will, against even God's will. Had been done. I'm going to list the names of the people that were probably part of the first Motley Crue when this all started, where I became aware of it about 3 or 4 years ago. Truman Super, Shayla, Lauren, Margaret, Christopher, Darren, Dominique, Shelton, Nina's husband, Mighty Lay's husband, Levita, Roy. There was a guy that in their group that was from Hawaii. I can't remember his name. So I just call him Hawaii, my business partner, or the guy I bought a business from, Joe, Kylie, Carmen, Sonia, Natalie, and their children and husbands. Mikey. There were many more, but that was just the main crew that all stalked me, harassed me, tortured me. One given moment. Not to mention what the men did in their little secret and private times. They didn't tell anybody about. Now, I don't know about the whole congregation. I know about it now. But the pioneers or ministerial servants and elders who had special privilege to be gang stalkers of the congregation. So, that's a whole, there were 8 million of them motherfuckers. So I don't even know what was going on. Two years ago, 2020, I wrote letters to my family, pleading with them. Please tell me. Tell me what's going on. Stop lying to me. They all ignored. Jehovah had me write a special letter to my sister and her husband and my father, informing them that he held them particularly more accountable than all of them. Knowing now that they are the ones who actually started the gang stalking. I didn't know, I didn't know who was doing the, my husband ventured off and doing the what do you call it? What do you call that? Catfishing and shit like that, and then the fantasy football. He had me in fantasy football a long time before that, but, even still, all this stuff that was coming on, different sects of business was just making money on me, all the way to the black market. All these separate agendas. I bet even one person. And you ask, not you, but she know who I'm talking about. You ask me, what makes me so fucking important? Because I'm over a couple million, not coming about $100 million. Making money for governments and industries. And y'all sitting up here making me destitute, making sure I don't even have a pot to piss in, making sure I don't have a shower to shower in, making sure that I don't have no food. Deliberately. Doing. So what told me it was you. The morning that I had all my stuff stolen, or half my stuff stolen, and then you made sure that whoever came in that evening and took the rest of it, leaving me no shoes, no coat, no nothing. And it was raining and 40 degrees. It was you who said. The next day I found out. You ordered that, Dawn. And you were the one who said, well, she must not have been suffering that much. She didn't come in. Because, I was hearing that there was money that was there for me, that they was holding that shit. Because they wanted me to come there and suck their dicks. You gotta know. And they ask you for nothing before, and they're gonna ask you nothing during. The fuck wrong with y'all? And then if I thought it was my money, I would have to come and ask for it. I mean, this is some real crazy shit. I mean, whoa. Not to mention the communities that were paid by the organization, Jehovah's Witness organization, to create all sorts of crimes, horrendous and heinous crimes against me, to take away my free will. Because I won't be what, Jeff? Didn't you say? Obedient? That's what I get for not being obedient. Who are you? I need to be obedient. And because the lies that was being told on me, that, you know, I'm just going to be fucking everything that was coming and going. And then all the men that they sent to fuck me, every time they didn't get the shit, didn't smell it, didn't feel it, didn't see it, did nothing. Then that caused another demon, energetic force at me. So, you know, after they got their little pay for, you know, not succeeding with me, they still got their own private agenda because I made them look like a fool. Then I became some type of advanced exercise for people in the military. Let's see if they had the ability to do some mind control on me. Not. It's crazy shit. But all I had to do at one time. Why not? I mean, just the family alone should have looked at. I mean, they the one got my money. Had they just not bothered me, I wouldn't have fucking known. They could have got away with this whole thing all the way because I had no clue. But you're bothering me. You gotta be bothering me for some reason. I'm gonna find what the fuck it is. Because I wasn't bothering you. I wasn't talking about you. I wasn't thinking about you. You didn't want to talk to me. You wanted to side with the pedophile. You want to side with the pedophile. You have to live with that. I'm going to live my life and I'm going to be happy. I left the pedophile because I want to have a life. And you wanted to drag me back to that. That part just could not sit well with me. And an answer needed to be made. You needed to give me an answer. Why? At that time, I didn't know he was doing black magic and casting spells and demons and putting demons in my children. Through food poisoning. Which I talked about yesterday. Through the covenant he was involved in. And Dawn and Jeff, you can sit back and say, well, we weren't in all that. We didn't know he was doing it. You did know he was doing it, but it doesn't matter. Your prayers were a cursing. Same energy. It takes the curse in a negative way. It's the exact same energy you access to send up a prayer. It's the intention and the energy, frequency of it determines whether it's going to hell or heaven. Is it for Satan or is it for God? And things of the good nature is going to be of a positive frequency, and things of the devil is going to be of a negative frequency. Neither two can exist in each other's vicinity. So it doesn't matter. You were cursing me. And you might have been praying, but those prayers were going to the devil. And he was answering them just as you like them. And that's what people need to know. The takeaway from this experience. On the spiritism alone. He told us, be careful. Don't call evil down on your brother, because you yourself have fallen short of the glory of God. He was telling us we have the ability to curse with our tongue. I mean, in Proverbs, you know, the tongue. What is it? It's sharper? No, not it's not sharper. I forget what it said. But he speaks about the tongue. It can heal or it can hurt. That's why in the prayer, no weapon formed against me, it goes into no tongue that rises against me will not be prosperous, will not be successful. Because the tongue is right there with a weapon, a knife, a gun, or whatever they're going to use. It's right there. So, it's common sense. It really is. It's just common sense. That's divination. Whether you pray in divination or whether you curse in divination, it's divination. A prayer is divination. It's using divine's energy to create magic. Magic, it's not evil. It's all neutral. Thank you. So, not to mention what they were doing behind their little phones. The energy that they were throwing at me, because that's another form of voodoo, is to throw. Throwing was one of the ways they hoped, the ones that had ingested the artificial parasites, that by throwing, especially if you got eye contact, that the entity intended for the girl could enter and possess the parasite, the artificial one. And then whoever ordered the entity can puppet master, hopefully, if he can get the person to behave the way they want them to behave, using the artificial parasite. Sad. It's really sad. It's sad. Dawn and Jeff. I would say Jerome, but he ain't cognizant enough to understand what I'm saying right now. And probably rightfully so. Jehovah loves you. And I hope you recognize. Right now, you're not going to have to serve the appropriate discipline for what's been done. Because he loves you. And from that alone, I mean, you're able to still benefit from the spoils of his congregation. Getting support, legal support, elder support. You're able to still get all of that. Hope you make sure that you don't feel entitled to that, because my daddy will be really hurt if you guys don't start to see how much he loves you. I hope that even in the midst of all this, you also see the opportunity to tell the truth. The whole truth. Tell your truth. Let nobody else tell your story. Because, they're going to sit up and talk about, oh, she did it this way and he did it that way and this is the reason why. And they be half wrong. It could be something totally different. But you got to find it. You got to figure out what it was. Why did you have so much enjoyment in what you were doing? Why did you feel justified, validated, and entitled to do it? If you find an answer outside of yourself, you will have not found the answer. It won't be because the congregation, this is the history of the congregation, this is what we do, and I know, and it's all like, no. I told you before, and Jehovah's going to tell you all over again, you can't come to me and tell me intention when I kept telling you, stop. And when he gave you the opportunity to have this all handled privately, you guys threw it away. Took them this long to get the courage up and just really say, oh God, I've really been trying to give them time. Just I've been trying, but these fools would just not break. Probably how you felt about me. He was feeling about y'all. He's not gonna break. I'm gonna have to slay him. I'm gonna have to hang them up for all the world to see. Because the crime is worldwide. This is not just done to my Bella. It's been going on too long, and Bella just got that mouth that I know she gonna stand up and she gonna fight for me. Even if it's just her. Whatever's right, she's gonna do it. That's what makes me a church woman. Not to save no world or do anything else. If after this process, I'm no longer trying, I'll be glad to sit my butt right back down. I don't need to go through nothing like this no more. People wonder why or how I could have possibly endured all of that abuse. And still have, even in the midst of it, every time y'all got mad because I was smiling, because y'all know if I'm happy, the spells can't stick to me. And for the world to know, laughter will dissipate a spell, because a spell is a lie. There's no substance to it. It's a fragment of someone's thoughts and ideas. And it needs a very low frequency for it to be effective. So you up there laughing and having high vibration. If you feeling something down, laugh your ass off. It'll break any curse or spell or any bad intention towards you. And they saw I still did that. And they would send somebody to destroy it. Because spells won't stick. And you like that. Which means they never did. Yo! Oh! Thank you. Oh, appreciate that. So, it's because 2 weeks in, first when I was home, I was like, God, you're just not going to let me do this. You're not going to do it. This is not possible. You're not going to let me do this. 2 weeks he didn't answer me. He did not say shit to me. And I said, oh, so you really going to do me like this? Really? But even if I thought that he was going to do me like that, I was going to do some real quick in and quick out. Not no 2-3 years. No. I said, okay, God, let's make an intervention. Since I got to do it, let me learn everything I could possibly learn. And make sure that I could teach my kids, and if I ever had to come back, I know how to do it better. And the more it got in, and the more the demonic shit, and stuff, I didn't even know I was being gang stalker at that time. It was probably a week after that. I was like, what the hell is going on here? You know, this is some crazy stuff. So, and I started seeing all the stuff that was happening. And I was just like, I had viewed videos on, people who were giving their encounters on gang stalking, but I had not even, resonated to it or tried to adopt it as this was my experience. But when I did, and after seeing how bad people were being treated, and how our human rights was being taken away of free will, it was fucking with God's, side of the game. They helping the devil. And they sitting up there telling them we're doing this to save them from the devil. I'm like, you using the devil, you're sending them to the devil to play with, toy with, trample on, and dispose of. How are you doing anything that's of a godly nature if that's what you're doing? I told you before. God didn't go to Satan and say, look, dude, I need you to get my sheep back. Come, could you go get him? He gave us Jesus to pay for our sins, that we would just be so unworthy of his blessings. And Jesus was happy to come. When I realized it was going to be for something greater than me. Yeah. Let's do it. That's how I've been with all my trials. My whole life has been heavy trials. Been that way. As long as Daddy told me what I was going to do and how I was going to benefit him, hell yeah, I'm on. Come on, suit me up. Because I know I'm going to be a motherfucker at the end of this. And my blessing's going to be real good. I had a 3-year trial. It was probably my longest trial prior to this. And then this one being a 5-year trial, basically. I really was. It's like, what is going on here? What is going on here? What is going on here? You know, and he kept telling me, you know, baby, you got to walk by faith, not by sight. No more sight, because all the danger is what's not seen. And if you don't know how to sense what's not seen and be sure of that, you're going to die on me, baby. You're going to die. And then how are you going to help others to see what's not seen? All right. I mean, he's coached me. I got plenty of stories about that later. But staying on topic here. Everything that was happening, I took note of it. I purposely did not allow it to penetrate my soul, other than with my children. When I found out my children were part of it and how they were actually arranging the type of experiences that I would have, like being raped and beaten and stolen from and left destitute, I was like, oh my God, that one, they almost had me on that one. Ooh, they almost had me. But that's when Jesus came in and he saved me and he gave me something real good to go on. And it was just like, baby, let me tell you what's going on here. What's going on? Try to separate your kids from the spills and the things, and just remember who you raised and what you raised. They don't really resemble nothing what you raised. I know, but hey, they're operating from a demonic space, and they didn't know they was being possessed by their father intentionally, and very well nurtured on a nightly, daily, moon, every moon basis, and new moon, full moon, activating those spells, making sure they stayed in the state of mind that they were. Fact. Not no delusional, not no, oh, I'm just all the spells of what you were seeing being casted at me in those videos of those demons coming at me. The pictures that I have of the demons. That was proof. Those demons would not have been in my environment because I wasn't doing nothing for them to be in my environment. I wasn't playing with no demons. But they were there because somebody casted them to be in my environment. And then now we understand that they were trying to impregnate me, I guess. You know, maybe that's what all the readers, when they were talking about somebody being pregnant, they're pregnant with a demon. Maybe that's what all that double talk they were talking about. I don't know. When it comes to them, anything's possible. But that's the only thing that really almost got me. Almost took me out. And then look in their eyes and say, they're just lying. But now, you know, this is why when Jehovah told John and Jeff, is because they are participating in this. Now that I know they're not only participating, they actually managed, produced, and orchestrated all the events. So I didn't even know that at the time. But he just said participated in that, and they're participating and not condemning the actions of all the others. It's by, in some way, you're saying that Jehovah approves of this. Because everybody look at them as the spiritual matriarchs of the family. So if they're orchestrating it, everybody else is looking at me when I'm telling them this, Jehovah said this, they're like, no, you ain't talking to Jehovah. Because Jehovah's over here. I understand. And especially since they have possession in them, of course the demons is going to make the glamour spells work so much better to not hear logic. That's how it went. So, and John and Jeff, Jehovah knows it's not just you. This is since 40 years ago. 1945 maybe? The rise of the United Nations. Were y'all there? Were you supposed to be there? Launching this idea? Either way, he knows it's not just you. But because he is also showing a huge amount of mercy towards you, you're going to have to pay the price in a different way. In another way, because you drugged me publicly. You have to assume, if there was a day, I mean, I think you did know that what you were doing was wrong. And there would be a reaping for it at some point, right? You didn't really believe that what you're doing was right, right? Did you? Be sure. Because that does determine something. Because if you believe that you were wrong, there's a lot of hope. Because you can go to that place where it was wrong. I know when you was wounded by hope that never got healed. And fix your wounding. Because only hurt people hurt people. And of course we know you're hurt. You're obviously hurt. And you're a testament of why just bearing it, pretending like it didn't exist, can manifest into that. To somebody who would do something so hard, so terrible to our system. Affect so many people's lives. But you have an opportunity. And you go out there and you own your shit. Own it. Before somebody's trying to put it all on. Tell it how it is. How it was. And why it was. And what you gonna do about it? Teach from that place. Take the opportunity to really see why Jehovah did this. It's not because he wanted to take some self-exalted people and to bring them down. That's not why he did it. He did it because something was happening. Worldwide. And somewhere you volunteered for this position. Now, look what I said in the letter. We could either be the family spoke about in all the Bible stories, because this story will be, as I told you it would, the first story in the last days. The first story of the new cross. Of what it was like for God's people to fight tribulation, spiritual warfare. What was spiritual warfare? So this is the first story. We have an opportunity, us being here, we all possess the personalities, defects or affects or whatever, characters that made this rise the way it was going to be. I mean, we had plenty of spots in between. It could have been something different. But here we are right now. Right now. You can choose to be just like all the other stories in the Bible. All the ones who stay faithful, good things happen. All the ones who thought they can trick God, let's sit their minds. But you can still write the story right now. You can change it. You can say, hey, look. I might have did wrong. But I'm going to be the villain in this story that turns around and give more glory to that God for allowing me to come back and turn around and do something else greater and amazing. And that's how the world should look at it. That's not this. You thought my comeback was good? Well, watch her. She ain't gonna stay like that. Not at all. She's a follower. And she still holds order too. And he loves her too. I know she does. She's not staying there. We don't get down like that. Not at all. But in examining yourself, you're going to find out something. And you understand why? I don't know why. But when you get that truth out and you tell it yourself, no one else, because anybody that's supposed to try to tell your truth for you takes away from when you gotta confess. And when you confess that truth and you get that Holy Spirit in the heavens and it's Lionsgate. I forgot. Oh, Jolly, you're so amazing. Just the heavens are opened up and ready to just dose that kind of love on you. It's August 8th. It's happening now. Where after all the hard work in the year, Jehovah has the planets aligned just so that the having light, because light is love and love is light. That's all it is. The light, the radiant golden light that will come down to the earth and just dose us all with love, which makes us want to have family reunions and babies and summer loves and all that type of shit. You take this opportunity. And shoot, I was you. I cleaned the closet up. Things that I did in past life. You know, I take shit that I did when I was 3 all the way to now. While we at it, Jehovah, take this, take that, get all that shit off, man. I'll be one clean vessel after I confessed. And receive every ounce of love of that amazing, energetic experience when we confess and we are free. Guess what? The sooner you do that and clean that house out, the sooner everybody gonna shut up. The more you try to hide and be all elusive about it, the more people gonna speculate and it's gonna make it worse than it is. If it can be. I don't know if it can, but it can get worse. I don't know. But it'll be worse for you. Because you'll be afraid to show yourself. But you tell me, anybody who say, fuck up. I need to figure out what's going on. Why did I do that? I mean, that mob, that energetic demon that all of your thoughts and intentions created one evil demon that had all of y'all in the chokehold that y'all couldn't even see straight. But who's gonna sit back and be like, hey, you know, oh, you're the one who did. Well, yeah, you know, did not own that shit. Why are you still talking about? What the fuck? Did you own your shit that you did? Why don't you try getting on TV? This has everything to do with narcissism. Jehovah said, go back to what was first. And he told all his life, we've all been tortured, and nothing is new under the sun by the way of man's son. So what's happened to me was happening in some other way to somebody else somewhere around the world or somewhere. This one just happened to be made public because it had a greater good, because God wanted his name vindicated and not associated with this fuckery. And he wanted to get that evil and all that plague out of his congregation and stop fucking with his people. So it's not only like, oh, we had to deal with some, you know, one of his favorite daughters being, you know, totally bamboozled and robbed from and all that type of shit. That's not the story. The story has to do with narcissism. This is the family is the poster child for narcissism. My belief is that it can be fixed. No vibration, healing vibration, body position, intention. Even without you thinking about it. Just like with manifestation. You put it on autopilot, you can put your healing on autopilot. If you get in body position, you play a frequency strong enough to cause those neurons in the brain to start to move around, and you think about what it is that you really want to have, not physical things, but in the brain to create that neuron. Whatever body position you're in, whatever music that was playing that was embedded with something that was going to heal, not hurt a person, but heal a person. Anytime that person in the future leaves that office or wherever they get that treatment from and they get into a body position, it's triggering healing. Anytime they hear the music, it's triggering healing. And neurons have to grow. It's impossible for them not to. Because that is how you reprogram the brain. And if that's how you reprogram the brain, why can't we grow at least the compassion for them narcissists to feel? It's too many of you guys to just kick you off the planet. And what good it would be for the Father and for the heavens, for all earth, for your vibration to actually start registering. Because you're connecting. Yeah, there's a good incentive there. It really puts the devil at a real big disadvantage. Sorry, devil. That's what it's about. That in a great mass way, Dawn, you can step up. Have your soul dissected to see what was it. Are you really a narcissist? Because all the narcissists aren't real narcissists, but because some people are so demonized that the frequency of their heart can't let nothing in or let nothing out, and they don't feel anything, and it goes cold. So they're heartless. So it's going to need to be a real worldwide exorcism. So churches, you still have a part to play, even after the governments walk away. It won't be in congregations. It'll be on an individual one-on-one basis, because that's how God is requiring us to be. Come to me, you alone, as mine. And he'll finish you. He'll finish you. The God of all wonders and kindness will finish off everyone's strength, according to where you are at this time spiritually, and according to how he sees you to be. Yeah. Everyone will be touched by the master order. And how dare anybody want to say something about it? You talking about God? God's working with this. What you don't like? I'm a masterpiece of the Father. Are you a masterpiece of the devil? Is that why you judging how he's molding me? That's the case. Go to your daddy and get away from me. You can stand up and say, I don't know. Because, truthfully, all the people that were involved, many of them were, like that ex-husband of mine, playing with demons. Not play demons, not fictitious demons, the same kind that y'all play with and cast spells on people when you were disfellowshipping. Real demons. Real spells. Bad associations boys used to have it, don't they? Demons like to hop around. And didn't he have an incentive to make sure that you kept doing what you were doing? A real good incentive. And go figure. This all started with me wanting the congregations to stop saying, no longer one of Jehovah's Witnesses, but go back to disfellowshipping. And that's what they refused to do, because they were cursing every person they said is no longer one of Jehovah's Witnesses, to not having any spiritual protection and no government spiritual protection. And the very ones who are forcing this to happen and keep going on and doing things against humanity are the first ones benefiting from the change. You will be the first recipient. Remember this fellowship. I might be after you. He already told me I was going to be disfellowship if I come back. I already told him. He's fair. He ain't going to try to treat me any different just because I did something great on the monuments. I still broke the congregational rules. So I'm going to have to be disfellowship too. But I don't mind that. You're not going to curse me, though. And I will not allow you to speak a cursing over me. But you guys will probably be the very first recipients of all my hard work. Go figure. Usually, thank God. So, and this is, I guess I said this not what, I don't know, what, one of my other videos, I was saying how two people can commit the same crime against me. One I hate, never speak to again. And one, they're just being human. My sister was just being a human being. She did something she wasn't supposed to do. Her biggest crime was not what she did. It was all the cover-up. But her cover-up, even though it was very harsh and brutal to destroy me or try to keep me away from the truth, which could hurt her. First law of man is self-preservation. She was being a human being. And see how true I am to this word. I can understand being a human being. And guess what, guys? We just call somebody being human. And I am still true to my word. I said if I find somebody that's being human, I'm going to celebrate them. As long as you own your shit, teach them respect. That you're not going to blow up because you did something wrong. You didn't create the worst crime in the world. You just happen to be so public. But you can still be so public and make good of it. You can wake up the next day after you confess your sins and say, she's right. This is what it feels like. I received that blessing of the Holy Spirit, that energetic gift that not many people ever have because they don't ever really fully confess it, because they always try to cover shit up. They don't know what it feels like to actually fully show the whole truth. It's against their religion or some religion, some new religion. But you can really tell people from experience. I have had that experience. I know what it feels like. That's why I'm able to tell people, really, really, really tell it. It's so much free. Everything you're feeling right now, Dawn, it's all because of what people can do to you because of what they know or what people don't know and what they'll eventually know. Tell them. Tell them. Tell them what you're going to do. Say, hey, I'm caught. I tried. Everything I did was to cover it up. Wasn't nothing right about it. Just because the masses went along with it or justified it, it wasn't anything right about what I did. And as I grow to figure out what the fuck was wrong with me, I hope you recognize those things in yourself. If it's similar to mine, me telling my story and being open and honest about it, if it's similar, maybe it can help you not go down the road I went. Because we're all in a society, a bunch of children of narcissists. Which I said before, it's like when you're raised by that, you have to behave as a narcissist to survive it. And then when you get out from around it, you have to always monitor yourself to make sure that you're not treating people as you do your family. You have to be sure of that. And that's just something I do. I mean, it ain't like anybody had that in the textbooks or anything. So it's not like there was anything for my sister to know not to behave like a narcissist. Or the fact that if she didn't know, maybe some demons was, I don't know if he cast spells on you, don't, I'm not going to accuse that of you, but he probably did. And because you was in demon thoughts and demon activity, there was a bed there waiting for them when they came. And he stayed. And who knows? I mean, if it was around him and all, he might have put some in your food too. So you might want to get their intestines taken out. Seriously. You never know. Say you know about it. Ask her. She knows. You deserve it. And this is an example. Just putting right out there on Front Street. He committed the same crime. He was right there doing the same shit with she was doing it worse. His intention was not being a human. Even though it's the same crime. He was not being a human being. He was being a demon. Because his intention was to destroy me. Was to have me alive, but then completely destitute and dragged. Or to have me kill myself in the presence of a camera so that all of the betting world can bet on how I would do it, what time I would be, and who would be the close on the lottery number of the exactacy. No word of a lie. It's the truth. It's been done many times before. I wasn't the first. I don't know if he was the one who did it, but I just know all the people inside of this type of experience and connected with gang stalking. Yep. They play those videos. They get their little parties together, whack their little dicks, as they watch somebody kill themselves. They're all serial killers, like I said. Just because you hire somebody or you call somebody to be so distressed that they kill themselves, that's a murder. That's what nobody said. Government, you're responsible to. I love my sister. I love my family. I hope that they do the right thing to heal. Even though they did not give me the truth yet. Because the truth came to me. My Father blessed me with the truth himself. Everything I know came from him. And my angels. Because if it wasn't for my angels, I did not accept the credit order and started paying attention to my angels, I wouldn't have never been able to ever conceive any of this at all. And this is just a testament of why everybody should contact their angels. Some people like calling me a psychic or I don't be predicting shit. I just know what has happened because it's an energetic imprint. It was so bad enough that it's out there to be recorded and readable and to be picked up. And it's about me. I'm trying to predict nobody else's future. But if you want to be able to know and be able to protect yourself and guard yourself, the only way you're going to be able to do it until their invention comes out where you can actually read and record what is the recorded energy, you know, I want to bring about. Until that happens, the only thing you're going to have is your angels. And I got extra confirmation to make sure that was definitely true. And he said, yes, 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 please. He said, I put those. The angels came out in those videos that you were posting solely to prove we're here. We're here. The devil, you see him. You see all the demons. You can feel them. You see them bullshit and everything. But everybody still doubted whether heaven and the angels was there. It came up on those videos to show you, yes, we're here. We're here. And the video that showed that they were fighting for me was proof that I had an army. I'm sitting there like nothing, like really? I didn't feel a whiff or nothing. Not even, even though the cars was going by, it was irritating, but I didn't get like no woof or anything of that nature. The angels was fighting for me. Go back to that video. And then I put a video after that showing, I put the infrasound next to it to see what was coming up on the frequency meter. What was it reading? And it was a battle. It was like tripping out, But that's proof. The demons have been able to just stand up and be around and duck and dance around. What do we say? Oh, the biggest trick is that the devil don't exist. You very happy he exists. No, it's fine. Now, Jehovah told me I could tell you this. Because I wasn't going to say anything, and I was like, oh, that might be just too sweet. But he said, no. That nigga not going to sit up there but hide behind the screen. And we all out here dancing naked. This one picture of the devil. Satan himself. Lucifer, whatever you want to call him, Rob, Rat, Gad, whatever name you want to call him. It's on my other page that they locked me out of. Again. October. The devil ain't been even working with Dawn and Jekyll or any of these other people. They're casting spells and everything. There's rules to the game. The spirit world knows the rules. I mean, because even if you look at the video, you'll see the angels, and then you'll see, the demons. And they're just kind of all in the same vicinity, not doing shit, because there's rules when you can actually engage. 3 o'clock a.m. Unless you're doing a production, like it was on me. But he did his walk of shame across the video, because Joe said, no, you ain't gonna get out of it, because he was floating in and out and just being elusive, like a little shapeshifter, a little wormy little thing, whatever. He just never really shaped up and appeared. I didn't know till just recently when I posted the picture, and I'm like, is that? No, I'm like, for real? I ain't gonna say that, because this is like creepy as fuck. I'm like, damn. But it's a very elongated, and none of my other pictures of that, everything is purple, orange, and green. I mean, purple, orange, and gold. But this green thing glides across the picture. And it's got this big old giant mantra of head of demons, just like all poking out of it. And he's like this little thing, and he's got this big old giant mantra. So, he made sure when he came out, and he's going to have to be taking a picture of, he's going to be in full of God. And that he was. You guys want to check it out, go back to the other page. It's pretty much at the top. The last pictures I was able to post before they locked me out of it, because Dominique Jackson don't want me to say her name. You're still going to get it. You're still going to be blamed. And you're the only one, because you work for YouTube, to be able to go into my account, change all my views, make it like I had 1,000 of views, and now they're only like 3 or 2 or 4. She's changing, that, so that my view count don't get out there, or I can't make any money. That faggot ass husband's probably telling you to do that. His daddy is there, if y'all want to go see his daddy. And he's green, and I was told through analysis of what I was saying, never in the history of the world, Satan really been captured of them. Nor the type of angels, the archangels that I have, and the battles that was going on, that you could actually see the battles that go on in the heavens, and what they say, warm with flesh and bone, but with fighting with spirit and principalities. You see them. You see all of them. If there was ever a time this is an amazing time, and Dawn and Jeff, you're part of that. You helped make it happen in all your wickedness. But you ain't got to stay in that wicked space. You ain't got to stay there. You can do something different about it. All of us are at a very pivotal point in time. That if you look at those videos, it's like looking at an ultrasound of a baby inside of a womb. If there's a baby there, it's showing up, and you can't say there's no baby. It actually is a baby. If you see angels and demons in the heavens, in those infrasounds, that's all it is. Angels and demons. It ain't no air or airplane looking like an angel or demon. Those are angels and demons. And the devil too. Jesus showed up for me one time. In a real bad time. And they fought a long hard battle. And the crown just floated across the screen alone. There was nothing else on the screen, just him. If Jesus can show up, the devil gonna have his picture taken too. They don't care whether the demons don't like it or not. The angels are very happy to be seen. They're very happy. Are you gonna ask when they can? There's some angels. And they showed up. I want to see what they look like. He spoils me to death. He really does. And how could you really? I mean, all the shit that's been going on, you're like, when you're in favor with that, the one that matters. At the end of the day, cares about being an issue, His laws got to happen, The wheel got to turn. It's got to turn. Eventually, somewhere, you got to be right if you're on the right. If you know you're not doing wicked shit, you're standing for right, and you're standing up for your damn self, because that's always right. When you stand up for yourself, you can never be wrong when you stand up for yourself. You can never lose when you stand up for yourself, because the force that's within you is greater than anything that's formed against you on the outside. That's what the scriptures say. It's impossible for anybody to overtake you if you're standing up for yourself. You never, ever lose. That's good with it. Very strong. Even if I was doing wrong and standing up for myself, motherfuckers, you still wouldn't win. As long as I'm not doing wrong against another person, you're still not going to win. Your force will always be greater. Like, you can blow on a demon and be like, fuck you, get away. And they disobey. They ain't shit. People is what you gotta worry about. Be scared of. Fucking demons ain't shit. Not at all. So, I wanted to tell you that. I got that up. I'm going to actually finish off some of the crimes that was committed by some very select people. Not my family. Just things I know. That needs to be addressed. Midnight Productions. You will be center stage.